Hello YouTube, this is Todd here with all things archery and shooting, and today I'm finally getting to that second part of the 1984 vintage Bear Whitetail Hunter. Let me tell you, I'm sorry it took so long to get this second part out, but I was really having a problem finding vintage items for this thing. I wanted to keep this video as vintage as possible, and it means everything that was out in 1984 I want to test with this bow, so it's as accurate as possible. Okay, believe it or not, those arrows you're looking at right there, those are metric arrows from Bear Archery. They were around in 1984. They were designed for this. They came out around the same time this Whitetail Hunter came out. And I finally found a set of 4 on eBay. And these are the original arrows. Okay? So we've got also, if you look at it, let me give you a good look at it. Coming down the line, here we go. Scrolling all the way down. Standard vintage Bear quiver. 1984 vintage as well. Got a little bear on the top of it right there. Okay? And all the way down here. Alright, coming up. Alright. We also got the vintage sight on it as well. Remember the old pin sights back in the day? Well, there they are. Turn around and get a better look at it. Okay. Alright, here we go. That'll be better. Get an overall view for you. There you go. There it is. Here's the other side. Got the vintage sling on it. I found an old vintage stabilizer for it. Look at them old Bear pins, and also the original Bear type of rest, because this didn't have a hole through the riser like the new ones did. Okay, it's got the old style peep sight on it as well too. All right. Okay, cool. Anyway, it's Todd, all things archery and shooting, and we're back with a second part review of this bow. This is the Bear Whitetail Hunter. This is a 6-wheel bow. Originally came out in 1978. Fred Bear designed this. It wasn't the first compound bow. It was pretty close though. You can see it has 6 wheels on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6-wheel compound bow. These bows only had about a 35 or 40% let off. This bow is it's 30 inches at 60 pounds, and I'm pulling 29 inches, so it's been adjusted with my draw length. This bow at 29 inches is pulling about 58 pounds. Okay. Only thing I've done to this bow that's not original is the string, but it isn't identical to the original string. I had to replace the string because the one that was on it was dry rotted. Okay. But everything else on this bow is as original as it can be, including the original Bear arrow rest. And I was able to find these, which are really hard to find. These are some old Bear metric aluminum arrows. Okay, these are actually came out around the same time this bow did in early 1980s, and let me tell you, these were hard to find. I finally found a set. I was trying to do a review on this bow and keep it everything like it was like back in 1984. I didn't want any of the newer components on there, like carbon arrows or the newer rests or anything like that. I wanted to keep it as like it was before as possible. So I finally got all the components together. We're going to do a shooting today on it and do the range test on it. We're going to test it on the chronograph. We're going to test the accuracy of it, hand shock, the reliability of the bow, and basically just how it shoots. Let's take a walk down memory lane with me back to 1984 when these were the hottest thing on the sportsman shelves at the archery shop. All right, give me a second, get the chronograph set up, and we'll get started. Okay, we're going to shoot these 3 arrows now. Remember, they weigh almost 600 grains, or 592 grains. Each of these arrows we have here, they weigh 590 grains roughly, between 590 and 595, so they're really heavy arrows. They are an 8.6 Bear metric arrow. These came out at the same time this bow did, and that's what they used to use back in the day. All right, first arrow, let's see how she shoots. I'm about 10 foot from the chronograph, and we're about 5 yards in front of the target. .174. .173. 175. Okay. All right. Well, there's our velocity. Sure just didn't really say how slow these old compound bows were. They were much faster than the recurves at the time. I guess the only advantage of the compound back in the day sure wasn't speed. It had a lot to do with the let off. This bow says about a 40%, 35 to 40% let off. I checked it with my bow scale. It pulls 59 pounds at my draw length, 29 inches. Okay, so let's see how she shoots on the target itself. Shoot a few shots on here, shoot a few shots on the 3D target, see how she handles. Let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna step off about 20. Okay, I'm gonna step off about 20 yards, and we're gonna aim for this punt right here. I'm not really sure this is sighted. That's just what I did. I took my sight pins off my other compound bow and just measured them. So I think I'm pretty close where I need to be at, but we'll find out. If not, we'll get them adjusted and just get it on target. So let's see how she does. Okay, well, those first 3 rounds are pretty close where I need to be at, but let me get my target adjusted here. Let's see if we can do a little better. Give me a minute, I'll adjust these sight pins. Second round. Let's try it one more time. I think I finally get where the sight's working at now. Let's give it another shot. Go. All right, so I got it sighted in finally, but man, I gotta tell you, this bow is not comfortable to shoot. It's got a lot of hand shock. I mean, wow, a lot of hand shock. See, we shoot pretty accurate though. It's quiet. Okay, we're gonna head over. We're gonna move over to the 3D targets now, so we do some shooting on those. We get that set up now. Okay, I'm going to step off 20 yards. We're going to be aiming for this spot right here. See how we do with this 3D target. Okay. Well, gotta tell you, this thing sure does store a lot of energy. Let me show you something. This shot clean through this 3D target, okay, which is right where I was shooting at right here. It shot clean through this 3D target, all the way to the other side. Now look at this. This is a 5/8 inch piece of OSB for my backstop, keep from losing my arrows out in those woods out there, you know, because they're a real pain to find arrows out there. But anyway, so I put this up, and this stops most arrows. But after going through this hog, all 3 arrows embedded in the 5/8 inch OSB, so much so they blew out the back and I lost my point on one. Now that is some stored energy, let me tell you. That's crazy. All right. I mean, look at that. That's really wild. That thing shot clean through that 3D target, give you a side view of it, and all the way through that OSB. That thing's sure storing a lot of energy. Some heavy arrows, I bet. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to go fix this one arrow here. So let me get these out of the target and go fix the other arrow. That's just crazy, man. Okay. All right, sorry about that. I had to fix that one arrow. I mean, I couldn't believe it blew through that 3D target and not through that 5/8 OSB. That's crazy. Well, I couldn't fix this one right here because it looked like one of the shafts hit it and bent this whole end. That's one thing I never like about aluminum shafts. They bend so easily, and you really can't do it when it's bent that far down. You're not going to be able to fix that. It won't be safe to shoot. So that's going to be a tomato steak now, what this one's going to be. So that leaves me with 3 arrows. Okay, again, these weigh 592 grains each, these arrows. These are heavy arrows. Let's see what it does on this deer target here. Okay, pretty accurate. I probably need to come over just a little bit. I was aiming for here, so I'm probably an inch over, but I mean, again, check this out. This is crazy. Okay, there's the arrows inside the deer. Here's a side view of the deer. Okay, I want you to look at something. That is just freaking nuts. Look at that. I had one buried clean through this OSB, this 5/8 OSB, and one partway through. That's after blowing through this deer target. And I know that it's been shot up some, but even my 50-pound recurve doesn't blow through like that. So this thing's holding some energy, buddy. Let's move out 30 yards so we can do it 30 yards. Okay, I'm gonna move out 30 yards now, see what we got. Wow. Okay. Unbelievable. Alright, well, it's not so good at 30 yards. You can see my group up quite a bit. And I gotta tell you, it did the same thing. Look at this. Arrows are in there. See that? And look at this. They plowed right through that OSB again at 30 yards. That's just crazy. Huh. Wow. All right. Well, let's do some more shooting and then we'll sit back and we'll pursue it here. Okay, let's go and do some more shooting. We'll shoot a few more rounds around the range and then we'll come back and talk about this bow. What I like about it, what I don't like about it, what I use to hunt with it, things of that nature. So let's shoot a few more and we'll come back. Okay, I'm about 20 yards away. Like I tell you, forgive me I'm sweating so much, but it's 98 degrees right now in Florida with 89% humidity. So it's actually quite hot. So, sorry for all the sweating. All right, let's do some shooting, see how we do here. All right, I'm at 20 yards. We're gonna shoot the back target. That was embarrassing. I think these old arrows, these old nocks are about ready to give up the ghost. Having a hard time staying on the string. Here we go. Good, not bad. It does have a lot of hand shock to it. It's pretty quiet though. I do need to tune these arrows a little bit. I don't think they're tuned properly for this bow. There's a little fishtailing a little bit going down range, but okay. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and take a break and sit back and talk about this. Okay, final thoughts on this bow. All right, I want to do this review on a old vintage bow. Is from the early 80s when I first started compound shooting. This is one of the first bows I ever shot with when I was a kid, and one of my very first compound bows. Took me a while to find one. I did find this one on eBay. It's a 1984 vintage Whitetail Hunter. This one's a 30-inch draw at 60 pounds. That means it'll go down to 29 inch, which I adjusted it to, which you can do that with the wheels here, or go up to 31-inch draw. Okay. Now my draw length is pulling just under 59 pounds, like 58.7 according to my digital bow scale. Everything on the bow is original to the bow except the string. The string, I did get an aftermarket string because the one that came with it was dry rotted. But everything that you see on this bow is what you would have been able to purchase back in 1984. Including the old Bear puffs on here. Those are original to the bow from 1984. The old peep sight with the old rubber tube, remember those? How many times these things smack you in the face? I can't tell you how many times I got smacked in the face with these things back in the day. The old stabilizer, the old Bear hard rubber tubing wrist holder. You got the old Bear style wrist right here, including the old Bear style sights. Boy, those old pin sights, they brought some memories back, you know. It's pretty easy to adjust these pin sights though. on the front side, wherever your point is hitting at, if you want to go down, you chase your point of aim. So if you're shooting high, you raise your pin up high, that'll bring your arrows down. If you're shooting left, you chase to the left, that'll bring your arrows to the right. Okay? Had the old original Bear quick disconnect for the old Bear quiver here, the old green Bear quiver. All right, snaps in place like that. All right. My thoughts on the bow. All right, speed-wise, it's not very fast. It's, I mean, 174 feet per second average. We saw the chronograph results. I mean, that was as fast as some of the recurves back in the day, and some of those recurves are even faster. I'm sorry, guy. I got to apply. It is so hot out here right now. The humidity is so high, and it's 98 degrees out here. So I am so sorry. I'm sweating like crazy. Anyway, sorry about that. Back to what I was saying. So what I liked about the bow, it's not very fast. It's 174 feet per second on average. The arrows are very heavy. They're 592 grains. That's what they shot back in the day. And those arrows, believe it or not, these arrows here were the hardest thing to find for this bow. I was trying to find the original arrows of the era. Sure, you can buy other aluminum arrows now, you know, different than 400, 300, 500s. But I wanted to find a vintage arrow, and I did some research. And when Bear released this bow in 1979, he also released these arrows. He called them metric arrows. Okay, I guess back in the day when we was trying to go metric in this country, which didn't work. But anyway, so these are metric arrows. These are an 8.5 metric arrow. Okay, they weigh 592 grains, all right? So these were the hardest thing to find. It took me a couple months to find these, okay? So I wanted to keep everything vintage to the bow. So these arrows are vintage to the bow with the same kind of fletchings and everything else on them. Bow is heavy, okay? Also, it's got a lot of hand shock to this bow. I mean, a lot of hand shock. I was surprised, more so than I remember. Maybe because I'm older now and I was much younger back then. But the bow does have a lot of hand shock. I mean, just shooting that little bit I shot there, my actual wrist actually hurts from all that hand shock this bow was having. So, now let's talk about what I like about the bow. Well, I like the bow because I did what I wanted to do. I found an old vintage bow and kept everything original, was able to do a test on review on it. Okay? Also, I got to tell you, I mean, after I got the sights dialed in, it started shooting pretty accurately at 20 and 30 yards. I mean, I was pretty impressed with the accuracy on it. Man, this humidity and this heat is crazy. I am so sorry, folks. Anyway, and what blew me away though was how much energy this arrow is converting. I mean, this bow is converting to this arrow. How much energy this bow is putting into this arrow. You saw the video where these arrows are blowing through these 3D targets here and embedding through my 5/8 inch OSB. Not even my 50-pound recurve does that. Okay, and this is it's a 59-pound compound, but it's doing 174 feet per second. So I'm going to do some energy calculations, put them in the video here later on, but I mean, that just blew my mind. It wasn't only on that target, but it's also on my deer target too. And I've never had my arrows blow through my target and blow through the backstop as well. So, and you can see this, I damaged this one because I was shooting next to each other at 20 yards. Will I use this bow for hunting? Well, if you guys want me to do a hunting trip with this bow, I've got some leased land we can hunt hogs on all year round here in Florida. I can do a hog hunt with this. If you'd like to see that, I'll gladly take with me and film it. I got some old Bear razor heads we can use to keep us vintage, you know, like it was for it. And if I get 1,000 likes on this video, and then I will go ahead and do a hog hunting video with this bow, and we'll go kill a hog with it, okay? So, but yeah, would I hunt with this bow? Yeah, absolutely. If that's the only bow I had available to me, I would definitely hunt with it. I would feel confident hunting with it. I mean, after seeing the penetration of these targets, I mean, you can't complain about that. Okay? But I mean, overall, I mean, it was a real fun video to do, and it brought back a lot of memories from when I was younger. From when I first started in archery back in 1981, my first year of archery. All right? And so my first actually compound bow was a Whitetail Hunter like this one, but it was an older brown one, okay? But basically the same bow was just brown instead of camouflage. So yeah, this brought back some memories, and it was a fun video to shoot. So if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to click that like button for me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm trying to build this channel up. And also, if you click that bell next to that subscribe button, I can notify upcoming videos that I have. I got some more bow tests coming out, so I got some really cool arrow tests coming out. Actually, again, sorry about the sweat, guys. Actually, my next video is going to be, I got 2 coming up next week. One's going to be on a set of carbon arrows, fully done, fully fletched. I bought these on Amazon Memorial Day sale. They haven't got here. I'll order them today. They'll be here probably, they said they'll be here tomorrow, so we'll see. But get this, I got a dozen carbon arrows for $32. A dozen, okay? With points, which is going to be interesting. They're 5-inch feather fletching. They got cresting on the whole 9 yards. They're beautiful arrows. Amazon was having a Memorial Day sale on them, and I'll be sure to link the arrows when I do the video on them. But we're going to be reviewing those. Probably if I give them tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, upload it on Monday. And then later on in the week, we're going to be doing a review on some bowstrings, Fast Flight Flemish bowstrings. I got some bowstrings coming from Grizzly Jim. I got some coming from Shatterproof Archery, Kramer Amons. I got some coming from Three Rivers Archery. And we're going to take all these 4 or 5 different bowstrings, all Fast Flight, and we're going to test them on my old Mountain Stinging recurve bow that I've done a video on here before. And we're going to see if what the speed difference is and how it shoots and how quiet it is, the velocity, etc. And then we're going to take those same strings off, and we're going to go ahead and add silencers to each of those strings from the company's own silencer, see how much quieter it makes it go and how much velocity we lose by doing that. So be sure to look for that. That'll be sometime next week. All right, so this has been Tom at All Things Archery. I want to thank you for watching. And please stay tuned for my new videos. And I want to thank everybody for the support. I mean, I'm almost 800 subscribers now. And I mean, that just boggles my mind. I mean, I'm really humbled. I didn't think 800 people want to tune in and watch me talk about this kind of stuff. But I'll keep making them as long as you guys keep enjoying them. So I want to thank you for watching. Most importantly, thank you for support. Until next time, ciao.